Day 2 of the Summer Gold Cup, Sunday. I put this in about 3 minutes ago. So when you sail out of Newport Harbor Yacht Club to the race course, as you go out here, you're lining up like this boat with something on the land behind it. And you can see we're not really moving at all. But when we get to Nationals, we are gonna be moving from our left to right. So we get used to the current. You always check that in places wherever you go. You're checking the current even as you're going out to the race course. So remember that. We've got the tide coming in today, Sunday, at Newport Harbor Yacht Club. And that's very nice to have that. And there we go. We are on the C2, C3 course. And Clara Stewart had a big day yesterday in the C3s, and she's having another big day today. She passed 2 boats on this run. She rounded 3rd, and then she just sailed it. The other boats parked it. Absolutely didn't ease their sails. The wind died where they were, and she just took a big wide course, kind of like 1002 did. And she just literally sailed completely around them. Here's Elle about to win the start in the C3s by a country mile. Yeah, looks over her shoulder. Oh wow, 1 puff. This is the first time there's been a puff from the right all day. Go ahead and tack, girl. Tack, tack, tack. The reason is because the mark or tack is way better. Good. She is going to get a monster puff. And here comes Chloe Shu. Down here made a big gain. The theme for the C3 starts both days has been be good at the left middle of the starting line. Clara Stewart did 9342, won her fleet, so or won her race. Here comes Theo down here, maybe struggling a little in about 9th. Here is Lorelei winning the C1 race on the left. Oh, they're going around the mark again. Cool. Maybe she's not winning then. Lorelei Heim winning a C1 race, Newport Harbor Summer Gold Cup by over a minute lead. This is incredible. So in the sailing world, we call this a horizon job. This is 2nd, 3rd, 4th right here. Wow, now she should be oh no, she just got to get around the fleet. Okay, there she goes. Tacking. And then don't look back, look ahead. Wow, look at that lead. This is the C1s, and the flags have shifted. If you look at the orange flags, they're now square to the line. So again, you got to learn to read that flag. If that flag's blowing from me towards them, so this line isn't like, oh, I deleted the last A fleet start. I was just, oh, Kylie Peterson, look at that, 9005. See the wrinkles in the main? No tighter on the main sheet right here, just going. Then you look at the water, the wind's gonna increase by about a knot or 2. So she just pays attention to the boat just to windward and make sure she just doesn't sail lower than the boat just to windward. Much lower. She doesn't want to be letting them gap, which she has. She's done great. 9109 is done. Right? Perfect. Now she should keep going. Then she should just let go of the tiller and look at the telltales. Rolling too early. Let the boat get on the other tack and then kind of roll. There you go. That was okay. Now she looks at the water, and it should be lifting from here. That is a header on port, so she should be getting lifted here. There she goes. Get these guys all set up right, trying to have confidence in their starts. One big rule is you cannot hook up to coach boats and drift way down there. Remember our rule, you only go downwind in a Sabot when you have to. And at Nationals, some of us might not have made the start because the current's going to be strong and the wind was light. Luckily the wind came up. See what these folks are doing? The flags are blowing from here, so the pin is not heavily favored. If the flags were blowing from our left to right, you'd be pushing down below 8655 or 102, you'd be down there. But you see how all the kids are having a hard time stopping? Okay, here's Lorelei, nice. Okay, general recall.
Okay, we got a general recall. We gotta do that again.
Sunday before race, I think 3 on Sunday. We'll watch the C1s again. Now, these anchored boats at Sabot Nationals will almost all be gone for Sabot Nationals. So we'll have this area to ourselves. But there will be nothing against the people. They'll probably learn pretty quick that they don't want 140 Sabot sailing around them. But you see these folks that are anchored here. We are in an anchorage over here. And these yellow buoys mark the anchorage right here. So we're inside their anchorage. So at Nationals, we may have them. And this regatta today has been about not going underneath those things for sure. Okay, I thought I saw Cam in first here. Where's Cam? Yep, there's 7630. Oh boy, lefty came here. These are tough conditions, you guys. This is fun. This is a lot of fun, actually. Because you got to have your act together. It's, you know, and that's better for our long-term development. It might be a little frustrating today, but this is where you get good at 420 sailing, at high school sailing, at college sailing in the real world. Southern California is not the real world. Southern California is mild currents usually, mild winds, little bubble, and then you're going to go to Europe someday, or you're going to go to Annapolis or something. You're going to experience current, and you're going to be better for it going out here and racing against good competition in a boat that's difficult to sail. Wow, look at Ben out there on a huge righty. So we saw a huge lefty over here just recently. Now look at the port tackers. They're all getting knocked down. So this is a little bit of random oscillations. I'm sure if we studied it, we could learn a lot about what these oscillations, the shifts back and forth.
Remember, the I flag is flying. Don't want to be over the line.
So these are a little bit of random oscillations. And there's probably some rhythm to them, but this is the first time that that Lido Island has looked like somebody has really, well, maybe the third time, sorry. You know, it's just, again, it's just oscillating. Whoever sails VMG speed fastest towards the next shift. So if we're on a big lift, we want to be getting to full speed ahead, right on the wind, full speed ahead, VMG sailing, because then we'll get to the next oscillation faster. And if you're not paying attention to the other fleets and bad air, then you can really get yourself in a spot. You can get yourself very confused. Oh, 30 seconds for C1. The flags are blowing square to the line. So the starting line is square. The pin is not favored. Yep, you see how they're having a hard time slowing down? It's because the wind is, you know, they're reaching right now. Here's Alex right in the middle. Right in the middle. This is an I flag start for this. Yep. So I bet you a lot of you would say the boat end was favored. It probably is, yep. Okay, now you look at the water, and it's windier right here, so you got to stay on the wind, not luffing, but on the wind. And as soon as you can get a lane, you're popping onto port tack. Here's Theo in here, 10022. He can't tack yet. There goes Alex. Oh, here goes Theo. Theo's going to be fine. He's going to come around in a big lift. So Theo got maybe 5th in that, 6th in that last race. Okay. He just naturally doesn't pinch. He sails the boat and then he points up. Beautiful day. Look at this. C1's coming downwind. And sure enough, we were watching 10022 and he's about to round this. Okay, how do we read? We read the gates as a starting line. So we look at the first place boat. I think the far end's favored. No, it's pretty even. See how they're both going about 45 degrees up at the same angle? They're both even. The gates are perfect. If he was on a huge lift, then we'd want to go around this one. See how, oh, actually Theo is on a little header. So maybe this one's a little further upwind. You have to look at it as a start line. Where would you start? I would probably start more at this end, actually. So I think this one's favored. Good job, Theo. 10th place start, and just sailed perfectly upwind, just played the shifts. I don't think he knew he played the shifts. This is before race 8 of the regatta. We only have 1 or 2 more. The wind is coming up. The forecast is for the wind to come up. These flags have gone left a little. These flags are coming from over here a little bit more. Now the line sight, my bow, I'm gonna tell you when my bow gets to the line, it's gonna be a palm tree, I bet. Yeah, oh, we got palm trees. Yeah? So I'm just over right here, my body's just over. So this is a little bit of a tough line sight here. We got some pilings. What are you looking at again? Okay, so line sight somewhere in there. Yep, my body's below the line. There's some pilings there. Pilings. So let's see. Yep, I'm over. No, I'm below. My body's below the line. See the white little hats? Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be over. You can't be over in the A fleet. That's, see the pilings with the little hats on the things? I'm over by that much. If I line up with the American flag, I'm way over. Summer Gold Cup Sunday. I don't know what race this is. It's 8 or 9. I don't know if this is the last race or the next to last. Pin is definitely favored. These guys are close hauled, right? So here's the line. And they're kind of close reaching, close hauled down the line. So the pin is favored. Now Fenton should slow down there.
9-9-6-9.
I don't know why. Oh no, why are we over here? See, there's a Maribel, 9317. We told her she's winning Gold Fleet. And that this is the last race. Look at that. She's gonna do it. She's gonna do it. She's doing the Aiden. Yep, the double tack. Yes. That was just beautiful. Look at Fenton, just slow. That's something we gotta work on, is the slow sailing towards the line. You're doing what's called half speed sailing. You would tell 9969 to stop sculling. 7689.
Sabot B, Sabot B, stay in port.
7689 kind of schooled Maribel a little, but that's okay. She's winning the regatta, and she's going to be ahead of all these boats. So she's in the top 10 already. She's just got to keep moving under there. 9317 is going to pop out of here. We're going to see. Is she going to be pretend national champion, or is she going to be in the dust? And I think she's done quite well. Look at the lift here. Look how far behind we get. Look at that. Fenton is 30 seconds ahead of these boats already. It's not even 30 seconds after the start. And 9317's getting pinballed a little. That's okay. I bet you she'll come out okay. But I think that was pretty good. We like to pretend on situations. We like to just pretend, hey, I'm at nationals, and you know, it's the last race, and everybody's looking at me. I have the big bullseye on me, and I'm just gonna sail BMG. I'm just gonna get a clean start near the favored end, and I'm gonna try to survive. I wanna be in the top 10 at the first one. At the very least. I don't wanna be back here in 20s right now. We have a chance now. It's been a left weekend. Today, there's oscillations to the right, so we're just gonna have to play the shifts. Play the shifts like Theo. Theo Card just plays the shifts, doesn't worry about anybody else. C1 guy just plays the shifts up the course. Okay, I'd say she survived. And I think Fenton's winning. He should be worried about a righty, so he should be going max full speed forward. Anyway, I gotta stop videoing so much. I'm supposed to be only videoing starts. So many things we've learned, I just can't remember them all. I get a thought and then I think about something else. But one thing I did think about is you got to watch your boom in the last minute, okay? If you're
10304.
so because your booms when they're luffing like this are pointed straight downwind, and you can tell if the wind is shifted over towards me. I think that flag is shifted from Newport Harbor yacht. So I think this is a tiny lefty. Everybody's on port tack in that fleet up there, so that's an indicator of a left shift. So again, pin ends favored. 8594 is golden. 9507 is golden. Ronan's down there, 10145. Oh, Kylie's down there, so they're not in good shape. They're gonna have to try to just reach and wait for everything to pan out. I mean, unless 8594 is gonna get called. But they should have been, this is the B fleet, they should have been reaching at 30 seconds. They should have been close reaching, like headed for way left over there, and then just stopped way over there by the coaches, and then ducked the pin and went around it. And they'd be a mile ahead of these guys. Yeah. So they might, yeah, it looks like Ronan did that. 10145, 9005, they got out of there okay. But Ronan's just a winner. So look at the other fleet. And it's just about playing shifts. Port tack is lifted right now. And there we go. Here's Fenton on a horizon job in the A fleet. So again, what we need to work on, and you guys don't know this, but there's different modes in the pre-start. There's the full luff or the dump, where your main's dumped out. There's the half luff, so you're half sailing upwind. So let's say we want to go, in the race we want to go 3 knots. In the pre-start, we will sail upwind at 1.5 knots. We're kind of going and fighting the wind a little bit to get up away from people. It takes a lot of practice sailing at half speed. How are you? What I learned now is the C1s don't watch the A's or the B's. The coaches can tell you all day long what to do, but you guys got to try it. We should never ever be at this end. Absolutely crazy. That guy at 8318 is going to be ahead by 40 seconds over anybody who is here. 40 seconds. And if you sail inefficiently, it's going to be more than that. Anyway, gotta try what we're teaching you guys. 9929. Look at that. Full ramp speed. Yeah? Now, he's not going to cross him, but look where 9321. That's how you start. 9321 started away from the pin with the incoming current. Didn't risk hitting the pin. So the current's pushing him up away from it. And so he just starts there, clean. Yeah, see, look at this. Yes. There's people that still are not to the line. Yeah. I am on the right-hand side of the course. And you gotta look at the layout. Remember when we were talking, I don't know if you noticed, but I was talking about anchored boats over here. You can't go underneath all of these anchored boats. So you probably round the right gate so you can get yourself stepped up so that you can come across, especially with the wind direction we have today. The wind is coming from Newport Harbor Yacht Club a little. So you gotta step up to that side. So you're probably, if the right one's good, you're probably going to that one. And Fenton out here, just way ahead. Yeah, he has great tacks, super patient, gets the boat on the other side, reaches for a second, just barely, loads it up, and then right into point mode. You can see how tight he trims. He's got his main really flat on the leading edge, and that comes with experience. When you get good, you can just trim that little bit tighter than other people. See that very patient tack? He could have steered another inch. Ooh, it's gonna be light in here, dude. It's gonna be really light. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough little tight venue in here, and I think she won 8 or something races in C3. There must be over 30 boats in the fleet, racing 15 at a time or 20 at a time. Are you headed home? Great job this weekend. Clara Stewart won a 2-day win, so she moves up to C2. That's been one of the most impressive C3 performances I've seen in a long time, to win that many races when there was that much chaos. You know, you get kids on port tack at the starting line in C3s. You get, you know, crashing into you and things, and she got around it all. So I hope I didn't video the last video in slow motion. That ought to be awful funny. But what I was saying is that Clara Stewart won a lot of races. And it looks like L in 9461 did well. She's probably headed home. Here comes Brendan. Brendan had his best regatta, age 7. Really hard for a 7-year-old to be able to navigate a course in a difficult boat. When you're that small, the boat floats so high that you even have less leeboard and rudder in the water. They're already too small. The leeboard and rudders are already too small for the boats. They're just kind of not a great design for, they're not a great design for efficient sailing. Okay, look at that. Awesome. Here we go again. C2s look like they're gonna have another race. I'm on the other course now. Do you see how she was going upwind and she was parallel to the starting line? So there's the starting line. You see the gray race committee boat. Look at this boat, 10147. Okay. Pin end is favored, so we cannot start at the boat end. Look at this guy, close haul. This is Brendan. He's close hauled on starboard, and he's going parallel. See the starting line here? So that means that this buoy is an upwind mark essentially, and that is a kind of a reaching or a downwind mark. You want to stay upwind in a Sabot. Look, these guys are barely making it. I hope that you understand what we're talking about. Now this could change. The wind could shift from the right. The wind could shift from the right, and we would hopefully catch it, but we cannot start at the boat when the wind's favored. So now you guys might think this is simple, but you need to learn how to reach before the start. Every one of these kids is over trimmed. Every one of these kids has their telltales on the leeward side hanging straight down. So they don't know the points of sail well enough. They should be going loose sail on port tack, and then coming back this way, they should have a tighter sail. See how she's going upwind? Going down the line this way. So it's below a beam reach going that way. It's above a beam reach going this way. So that means this end is more upwind. We call that the favored end. We should call it the upwind end, is what we should call it. There are times in the racing world where you go to San Francisco or Europe where there's current, or there's a local knowledge like Santa Barbara. I don't know if you ever sailed in Santa Barbara, probably not, but in a normal Santa Barbara spring day, you go all the way right on the upwind, and you jive and you go inside downwind, and it's just the way it is. And so you would start at that end in Santa Barbara if this end was favored, but not here. The left has been good, and a lot of times we start with what side is good. So if the left is better, if this where I am right now is better, then I'm going to start closer to here. I'm going to start where that red boat is. Okay? I'm going to start right where that orange boat is. Now another thing we learned is we got to go slower before the start, because that was a lot of close call right there. It was exciting for them, but if you crash and blow your leeboard up, one problem with the leeboard is hanging off the side. I mean, you can blow one off the side of your boat or damage it really badly. Okay. Remember, you gotta sail the boat properly up and down the line. Fly your telltales as you sail up and down the line, and you will figure out which end is upwind more. So we got about 4, maybe 5 knots. Last race of the Summer Gold Cup. This is a tough venue. The ABs and C1s are learning that. We're gonna have to overcome some frustrations. The results have been a challenge. And so Newport's a tough venue. I think we're going to have some kids who are thinking they're not doing very well, but it's just now we know what we need to practice. A lot of little things together. Now for the C2, C3s, this will not be the venue for nationals. You'll be out there in the Big Ten. Elizabeth is more in the middle here. I don't see Clara in 9342. There she is right in the middle. Again, that's just too far away from the favored end. A little too far. It hasn't mattered for Clara too much. Back lift, that's a manual, 1060 manual. Look at 8844. So again, you guys, what did we just say? You were racing to right here. There's the pin. We are racing to where 8940 is and 8840, so we need to just start closer to that spot. Just a little too cautious at the starts. Okay, but it's gonna be okay because there's a lot of wind here. And just did a really nice little roll tack there. What she does good on her roll tacks is she doesn't head up at the end of the tack. She comes out of the tack and goes straight. Look at her. Yeah, she just got to sit forward. I don't care. She's flying. Look at the huge puff coming at the mark too. She should be reaching for that. She doesn't know this, but she should just be put the bow down. Like she should turn down and just get the boat going extra high speed mode. And just get here. She's getting to it right now. Watch, she's gonna get more. She might get on the rail here. Now, if your sail starts luffing right now, it means you need to hike. Yeah? Now, she should be footing, not pointing. The next shift is going to push her down. Oh, here's a manual on a big lift pinching though. There you go. Got to come out of your tacks. There you go. Okay, she has another monster puff gun, but see how she's headed? Yeah? See how she just steers into it? She should have been steering into that just a little sooner. The manual should see her. Oh my gosh, she's gone. She is just gone. So here I am complaining about the middle of the line start, and she is just 20 seconds ahead. That was not a great tap. That's okay. So 15 seconds ahead. The manual's gonna do the right thing, I think. Okay, so the B fleet's on its way in. The Summer Gold Cup's over for them. And it looks like I don't know who's who. Cut. It's a broken record. Look at that, close all down the line. If anybody's on port tack, you have to look at them so that you can see if it is a lefty. It would be, watch, 100255. Look at his angle, perpendicular to the line. He's being cautious because the I flag is up. This is where the 8 and double tacks. Look at 10347, double tacking up. Anybody at this end is behind by 40 seconds right now. Finley, you're behind by 40 seconds. So anybody who comes off that line, looks like Julia's going for it, which she should be. He has to set the pin this favored, kinda. Otherwise, you can't get the start off. Kids don't know how to start in a up current. You have to practice these starts a lot. Look how far behind we are over here. You have to practice it a lot because when you get to high school, this is high school starting right there. They have to set the pin so favored because otherwise half the people don't know how to slow their boat down when the boat's favored. Fenton, that's a good idea. Just get a lane. Starboard's okay anytime. The one thing about Newport in this wind direction is anytime you have a good starboard, you stay on it. Because it feels so bad to be on starboard. Okay, well. Well, it's been a good regatta for Newport. Sunny and decent wind. Current was not a factor this weekend other than it was pushing people over the line, and we learned how to judge the upwind current. Current that's going upwind pushes you over the line. Makes it so you can make the pin. Here comes Olympia winning the last race. Here's Fenton in second or third. Yeah, this has been a challenging, shifty regatta. It's been great learning, great learning. Watch this tap. Wow. Wow. Yeah, there you go. Fenton looks like he might get second here. Yeah, that guy's in slow death now. Fenton points straight up Lando. It's close. It's close. Yeah. Yeah. See how lifted he is? The other end was favored. Yeah. See, if this was a starting line, you'd start at the boat. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. So good lesson. Come up to the line and guess which end you'd start at, and then you'd finish at the other. Well, it's been a great regatta. Ciao, ciao. Going in. Look how much wind there is now. Wow. Look at that guy heeling over. Let's rig up and go back out. Everybody come back.